Unconditional love really means unconditional love. It does not mean, okay, if you do this, I'll be loving you. If you don't follow my instructions, sorry. That's not unconditional love. Unconditional love means he will love you no matter whether you love him or not. He will love you if you hate him. He will love you if you beat him. He will love you if you kill him. If that is not there, he is not a perfect loving master. That's unconditional love. That flows so much. It grips us and draws us to him. Ultimately, that comes the only test that we know. And it pulls us. We don't even have to worry about whether we call him a master or not. It doesn't matter at all. No names, no language is necessary for that. It's something else. It's a relationship from the soul to the soul. It's a relationship. He has not come to deal with our physical bodies. He has not come to deal with our mind. He is coming in response to our internal seeking. The seeking of the soul to go back home, to its own totality, to its own origin. He is only come into our life for that. So at that time, when we say, who is he? Who is this person who has come outside? And we'll have more serious questions about this subject as we go in and we find that this world we are seeing is a projection of our own. If we are projecting this world, and we are projecting a guy ourselves in this world, how can he be a master? He's our creation. And that's another great discovery we make in the spiritual path, that the world we are seeing does not exist independently outside, and that we have just come for a little while here in a million year world that has already existed around us, that we have come and created a world for ourselves outside. That's a projection from our own mind. That if that is so, what is another one guy out of our entire projection, and we think he knows more than we do? He's our projection. That makes it again a question mark, that how can a person who is our projection, and how can he be a perfect living master who can take us anywhere, because we are making him up. Virtually making up everything, that we are making him up too. Well, we made him a perfect living master. When did we do that? Before we left our true home. We didn't make him now. We didn't make him today. We didn't make anything today. It's all out of our control. We can't change anything. We can't even change the size of this room. Sitting here, if we made it up, we could be able to change it. We, the physical bodies, made nothing. We, the astral bodies, made nothing. We, the mind, did create all this, but on a pattern that was made earlier. Where did we make all this? We made it when we were in our true home, which we are now seeking. We made the whole plan of creation before we left. We made our individuated souls before we left. The totality made everything. You can call it the totality of consciousness, God, creator, ultimate creator, whatever title you want to give it, doesn't matter. The whole show was pre-programmed at that time, including the fact that when we are in a state of physical experience, having a physical experience, a physical body, we should keep some key to get back. Supposing we had locked ourselves out from our true home forever, that would be a tragic thing. And don't think we could be totality of consciousness, be so stupid that we should lock out ourselves into an experience outside and then be in that all the time. We did lock out ourselves, but we did make arrangement to go back. What was the arrangement? To carry through the same sound current that creates everything. And that same sound current should be appearing at all levels and represent something that we can see and experience, and that should take us back. So the projection, of course it's a projection. What we say is a perfect living master is as much our creation as the rest of the world. But we have ourselves endowed that projected person to be our real self. And therefore, what does actually happen in our experience with such a person? First we see radiant form, then he travels with us to the rest of the journey, and then we find that he is really merely a manifestation of the same sound. It is the sound that becomes a form, and which we call the perfect living master. This discovery comes immediately after you start leaving the mind. That we use the same power, creative power, which we call sound, which we call word, which we call nad, which we call shabd, which we call by so many words in every scripture of the world. Every great saint, every great mystic has said the same thing. How can you say in the beginning was the Word? How can you say Word made flesh? What does it mean, these terms coming in our scriptures? How can a Word become flesh and become a master? That's the power. The Word is merely an expression, because there is no word to express it. So we just use a simple thing, word. Because it can be heard, because it can be listened to, because we can say it resembles sound. That's the only reason. Therefore, we should know that these arrangements have been made by us. And it's a wonderful experience, like many wonderful journeys here are. When we have a wonderful journey, a wonderful experience of going along with the Word, which is the Master. The spoken word can only be used from the physical point. The sound of a spoken word, Varnatmak, only takes us up to that point. The Dhunatmak, in its own sound form, can only take us up to the top of the mind. Love and devotion for that which we thought was a human being, beyond that takes us to our true home. We call these 3 steps in our meditational process Simran, repetition of words, Bhajan, or Shabd, listening to the sound within, and Bhakti, love and devotion.